joy in this house? Amen. That's awesome, man. Woo. That song always get me. So I thank God. First and foremost, I want to thank God for being ahead of my life. I thank God for, amen, just him being God as a whole, just being God in my life. I thank God for just his keeping power. I thank God for being saved. Yes, sir. And I want to go one step further. I thank God for the holy. Well, my God, I thank God. So I just want to say, amen, I honor our bishop, amen, pastor, amen, our pastor, amen, Bishop James. Amen. And I always got to say, the late Mother Isabel Burke. Yes, I can see her right now, jumping and hollering and jumping up and down. She may be short, but bold and strong. Amen. Amen. Yep, now you see that. That's right. And I thank God for our elders, amen. Amen. Our sister pastor, amen. Steve Terrell, amen. And all the evangelists and everybody in respective places, amen. Everybody. Thank God for my mother, amen, Rosa. Sweet Rosa Jones. Amen. I'm grateful for this final hour. I'm grateful to be here with all the crazy hours that I work. It just seems just like it's just such a tough time getting here. And just being able to be fully like involved. I don't like not being in church. I can't stand that, you know. But nevertheless, God got it. Amen. Hey, look, all is well. So we're gonna do something different. I was hoping that Pastor Steve would make it, but then, you know, his situation happened. So things shifted a little bit, but I think this is going to help all of us. So it's going to be more of an enclosed encounter tonight. It's not going to be, we're going to do something that's going to help each other. All right. Amen. And I want to tap on this thing, and then what we're going to do is we're going to break off, and we're going to help each other. We're going to break off. But as I was actually praying, what is it that I can actually present that will help, you know, just to bless the people of God? And what God gave me is the keys to an effective ministry. All right. The keys to an effective ministry. Yeah. Amen. I think that's so important because as we, you know, go forth to God and doing what we're doing, you know, one of the things that I realize is that, you know, we come to church and as we all know, we love the Lord and we're faithful to, you know, doing the things. But if you look around here, it is too many people in here with gifts. My God. Which means that every seat next to you should be filled. Hallelujah. If you can see what I see. My God. As a matter of fact, can you see what God sees? Amen. And I believe that we are on our way to a greater dimension in the kingdom of God. Glory to God. But, you know, it's going to take faithfulness, it's going to take consistency, it's going to take love of the Lord. Amen. You got to realize that you are not a waste of time. Amen. But you are a very important part to the ministry. Yeah. But you got to have the ministry in heart. You can't be in this church with your mind on California. We got to be right here. We got to see what God sees. We got to see how we work together. Now, these are just some things that we're going to go right into. We're going to break off. This is going to give you guys an opportunity. What I want to do is I'm going to ask, I want Evangelist Murphy, I want you to take the youth. If you could take the youth and the young adults, and then I want the deuces, you know, the right here. If you all can take the other half, and then I think we can split it both ways. So the young adults will be on one side, the adults and the other adults will be on the other side, and we're gonna break off into two different sections. So we're gonna get to a corner, and we're gonna talk and brainstorm what we do. But I'm just gonna set this foundation for you first. I just truly believe, in order for us to have an effective ministry, we got to realize that it's going to take, number one, prayer. Amen. Do y'all believe that? Amen. Because there's a lot of us in here who have so many wonderful gifts, and we know the gifts come without repentance, but I often say, I want God to know my gift, that it will bring glory to Him. Yeah. That's what I want. So I guess we got a lot of people here. So, and Brother Anthony, you'll be on this side, and maybe we can get somebody else on the side. But if you agree, we can all say that the ministry, there's a lot of gifts. And God anoints our gifts and we're willing to accept whatever it is he put in us.
Amen.
But you got to understand is that it takes, number one, prayer.
Amen.
You got to pray for all things. Before you even start a ministry, and I'm not talking about starting a new church tonight, just be with me. But what I'm saying is that what can we do to enhance and be an effective ministry here? And you got to realize that it takes prayer first. You got to have prayer and then you got to have a vision. We know what the ultimate goal is to go out and win souls. But what is it that you see that can be an effect in this ministry to see it go forward? Then you got to have, then you got to be a Christian, which you should be a Christian in the first place. If you're not a Christian, then how can you operate in the ministry?
Amen.
If you're not Christ-like? Amen? And then you got to also, lastly, execute your gifts. We know that there are spiritual gifts, but there's also just gifts in general. And gifts are not bad. Let me just say all that. We have doctors in here, we have teachers in here, we have nurses in here, we have business owners in here. Do y'all see what I see?
Amen.
So this ministry can become one of the greatest ministries. Not that we have to go out and prove a point to anybody, it's just the fact to be effective. We want to know that every time we encounter Jesus in this building, that somebody's life is going to be empowered. And we got all of these wonderful, wonderful things that's in us. But we got to be able to connect with what it is that we carry. And whatever you carry will bring you to great success. But you got to access what it is that you have inside of you. Amen? And we talked a long time ago about we work jobs and we know we got to provide. But I don't believe it's the Lord's will for you to go to a place of misery. So you got to find out what is it that you love the most. What is it that you love the most that will not only impact the world, but first and foremost, it's going to come from God. But it's going to also bring great success to your life as well. These same gifts and whatever your purpose is going to actually build the ministry where it needs to go. Amen. So what I want to do tonight, that's just the foundation of it. But I'm going to ask you all, if you could, all come together like an huddle and discuss what it is you think that will make an effective ministry. And how you present. Once we all break off, we come back probably 5-10 minutes, and we talk about it, and we present it, and then I believe we're going to learn something out of this. Amen. And then we're going to be able to go to the next place, and we'll be out of here. I don't tend to leave alone. So, can we do that? Amen. Amen. Let's do it. Amen. Let's do it. Well, we just, everybody can discuss what we want to. This is really good. I think it's very important that we do this because how many of y'all agree we want to be better? Amen. Amen. I thank God that we can actually, to be honest with you, it's really a blessing that we can actually sit down and actually talk and discuss of ways that we can be better. So, keys to an effective ministry. Who wants to go first? And you can present right where you are.
Okay.
Mike, they don't want to hear you.
Did somebody put him on punishment or something? No, he don't want to.
No, he just.
Aaron, you need to sit down.
Praise the Lord, everybody. Amen. We was talking about what can we do to be effective in the church. First we came up with one main thing is that the whole church, not just the usher board, not just the elders, the pastors, the youth, the evangelists, the missionaries, all of us as the church have to be on one accord. Amen. Once we in one accord, we all in agreement with everything, that will affect what's happening in the church. When people come in the church, then they'll see the unity that's in the ministry, and that'll make them more want to join in. And right now, just before our sportswoman come up and read what we have all came up with, we're going to let our youth tell you what can they do to be effective to the church. To minister to people and to invite them to church.
Y'all can talk just a little bit louder so we can hear you.
Believe in yourself and other people.
All right.
I had two. One was to not only pray God in church, but pray God in other places so they want to come to church and use your talents for God's will.
All right.
Aaron, you want to say something?
Let me say something real quick. I just want to say that last night I went to go listen to Assistant Pastor Sorrell speak last night. And he said the 3 D's that we need in life is determination, desire, and dedication.
Amen.
And I think that fits this, what we're talking about. Determination, desire, and dedication.
Amen.
All right.
Well, what we came up with, we got the definition of what effective means. And it says definition of effective, successful in producing a desired or intended result. And the word result means, we went to 2 Timothy 2:15, which states, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And also we looked up Proverbs 3:7.
Preach.
States, be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord, and depart from evil. And Sister Renee shared that we can share our testimony more to help others when they hear it from us. We can pray and encourage them. Pray over the chairs more. Melissa said, be a good listener, being an encourager, and a good motivator. Evangelist Butler stated, living the life and not being judgmental. Evangelist TC stated, stay in communication with others. And Renee also shared, focus on the internal change more than the outside. We focus on ourselves, we can be right to minister to others.
Amen.
Awesome. All righty. See you our next group. Get out the way. Get out the way of the camera. Jay.
Okay. The question is, how can we be effective in the ministry, in our local ministry? We first looked up effective, and the definition came up, producing a result that's wanted. So then we ask ourselves, what is it that we want? And it says also starting at a particular time. So when we decide what we want and what time we want to do it, we need to do everything in our power to follow through. Amen. Okay? One of the things that we discuss about being effective is we must practice being on time. We must practice. That's one practice we gotta turn around. Y'all know I ain't saying it because I've been practicing it. Hallelujah. But I desire to practice it, and I'm gonna get it right. It's been a battle all my life, but you know, it's always time for a change. Glory to God. Being on time is very important to being effective, because what it looks like, our church service started at 7:30, and we get here at 7:45. 7:35. Amen. We were suggesting that we should start practicing coming 15 minutes earlier, like 7:15, so that we can start by 7:30. So we'd like to just put that out there, and all those that want to join in with us to try to start doing that, amen. I'm sure our sister pastor would be happy to see us really focusing in on being on time, amen. Another one was we must have a prayer life, not just when we come to church, but it's 24 hours in a day. We need to be praying. We need to be talking to God. We need to be concerned about one another and about our own growth. Another thing we said that we need to really love one another as God has commanded us to love one another. Also seek God for wisdom and understanding, and be open to constructive criticism. Amen. We must be open to constructive criticism and learn to stay humble, not so judgmental. Amen. Open to new things that glorify God. As long as they glorify God, we should be open to new things. Amen. Not just get in a little box and just say, no, I just, that's some things that's not my cup of tea. However, if it brings glory to God, amen, who am I? All right, and we must learn to work together. Hallelujah. And all of our goals should be the saving of souls. One thing we said that we can start by giving our story. How was I saved? What's my story? And share my story, with other people to hopefully draw them in. And we also, to be effective, we want to see growth. And in order to see growth, we must do these things that we have discussed tonight.
Let me tell y'all, this was awesome. Matter of fact, just to sum it all up, y'all both basically hit everything that I already have in my notes. So we know we walking on one accord. But if I can just go ahead and just sum it all up, and I'm just going to give it to you just like I have here. So let's start. Okay, so all of these things that we heard tonight was really just right on time. And we all know this is so important. You got to get to a point where you don't want to just come to church and just come and just come and just come and just keep on coming and just keep on coming. And yeah, you're nice, you love people, but what can you do to help it? You see what I'm saying? So everything that you said tonight, everybody that participated, you said something so awesome. So to wrap all of this up, check this out. Our first question is, number one, you have to be accountable. So I'm going to go back to to wrap it all up. You have to be accountable. Can God count on you? Are you available to fulfill His purpose? Or do you make excuses? That's the first thing. Then, now, you got to be humble, but yet bold. Go out and talk to people. You ain't got to go out there with no certain hot father of God. Listen, go greet people. Hello, how you doing? How's it going? Okay. Do you often witness to people that are unsaved, right? Then preach the gospel. We all know Mark chapter 16, 15 and 16 says, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature, right? Amen. So we got to be willing to do that. You got to go out and meet people. Now, the next thing is, how would you approach them? Y'all already hit on that. And you got to start a conversation. And what I said was start a conversation of interest. What is it that we can talk about? For example, we talk about sports. That's one way. I'm telling you, that's one of the easiest ways to get somebody's attention. You start talking about the Super Bowl or the Bucks. Now y'all on one accord. Now y'all talking about, now this is your way to ease on in there. Because so many people that I've talked to, they love, we have an energetic conversation. And then they say, I got to go to church or something. Really? Where you go to church? There it is. Now the conversation has started. So you got to find ways. Because often people don't know how to go out and approach people. You don't need to go out there with a Bible in your hand and a cross on your chest and all that stuff. Go out there and be normal just like everybody else and watch those fruits and that power come out of your mouth. That will actually draw their attention. Okay? Then, do you walk in love? Is the question. Ephesians 5:2. Ephesians 5:2. Anybody have that in front of them right now? Can read that? Real quick. Ephesians 5:2. We almost done.
love as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling Savior.
Amen. So it's just plain as simple as that. We got to walk in love as Christ loved us. You know what? How can we say we don't want to forgive somebody, but Christ above can forgive us? But we don't want to forgive nobody else. Some people are still holding things from years and years and years. In order for you to walk in love and go forth, I'm going to tell you right now, this is just my belief. There's no way God will let you go any step, another step until you have emptied out everything you got in you that ain't of God. If you got hatred in your heart, I'm sorry. I don't care how great you want to be, ain't nothing going to happen until you actually get it right. You're going to be delayed from the purpose that he has for you because you've been holding this thing so long. Now, moving on. There needs to be a heavenly sound. It has to be a heavenly sound. I'm talking to myself and all our other musicians who are not here tonight, but I'm talking to myself on this. This was in my notes. There has to be a heavenly sound. What is our music ministry like? Learn how to flow under the anointing. Is there a sound that will impact the lives of people? Is there a sound that will bombard the heavens? Is there an anointing sound that will bombard the heavens? 1 Samuel 16 and 14 through 23. Everybody know that scripture? Can somebody read that if they have it? 1 Samuel 16 chapter, the 14th through the 23rd verse. Probably, well, yeah, we can read whoever can read real fast. We're almost done. I promise you, we got a couple more. 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, 14 through the 23rd verse. Trust me, this is going. I'm telling you, this will help all of us. Because as a musician, one thing that I've always learned is that I got to realize that I'm here to flow where the Spirit leads. I never want to get caught up in my own thing. I got to go where God goes.
But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold, now an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servant, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and the Lord is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse, and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. You said 23?
23. Is that 23?
Okay, that's 19. And Jesse took an ass, laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he has found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him.
What you say? And you know what that tells me? What that tells me is when I'm familiar, if I'm staying faithful, this way, for example, if I'm following Ella Deuce or Ella Jeff, anybody that's speaking, if I'm always around you all the time, eventually my spirit is going to connect with yours. So when you out preaching, I know exactly what you need because I've been around you long enough. So as a musician, I feel is that it's so important that we get in tune to what God is going through His ministry, so that we'll know exactly what to play that will bombard the heavens, that souls will be saved and their spirits will be lifted. That's how I gotta get. You gotta get to a point where our worship experience is. Your worship experience has to be to a level that will be radical for Christ. You can't want the things of God but don't want it to open your mouth and give nothing. Your praise is very important. Okay? So I want to tell y'all that we want to get to the level where y'all hands get lifted up and y'all just begin to just close your eyes. I showed a video to them the other night of this man. Make a real quick side note. I showed them this video last night the Wednesday night in our Bible study. There was a man who was a football. He played. He was a football player, right? Did I say it right? What was he doing?
Yeah, he was involved in sports. What happened is he wanted to talk to his mom. He had all this anger. His mom wanted to talk to him. He had all this anger in him and all this stuff, and he would always avoid his mom. And all she simply wanted to do was just talk to him. But he had got so caught up in the life and the gang life, and I know run the streets or whatever he was doing. He was so caught up in the fame that he wouldn't take a minute of his time. If, say, for example, his mom was at home, to paraphrase, his mom was at home, son, you just stop by and just come see me every now and then, just please. And he was like, Mom, no, I don't think, always putting her off. Well, make a long story short, he had got a message that his mom had passed away. And when he went to the funeral, he said he didn't even go to the casket because he felt so guilty. Because all of those years, all she wanted to do is have a conversation with her son. And he put everything else before his mom. And by that time, it was too late. So he just cried out and repented. And you should see this video. All these young people he was talking to, they just began to cry out in tears, heavy, just falling out. They saw the video, and they were just so empowered by his testimony because we often get so caught up in what we love so much that sometimes we'll put God on the back burner. And that is such a dangerous life to live when you put God last. When he says, seek first the kingdom of God. Now, we're going to close this up. Last thing, do you begin your day with prayer? How often are you at church for 30-minute prayer? Y'all already hit on it. Isaiah 58, we know these things come through prayer and fasting. Right? I'm not going to get it because it's pretty long. Last thing, Joshua 1:8 from the Amplified Bible says, the book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall read and meditate on it, and day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything in accordance with all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will be what? Successful. So that's the whole key right there. You got to have a life of prayer, fasting, seeking God's vision, and then being accountable. Okay? And that's all I have tonight. So I hope y'all was blessed, and everything that we said, I think it was so powerful that we got to each other just to be better. Because we want to be an effective ministry. We want to be able to get results. So that we see it. If you got to first see results, first and foremost. You got to know that what you're about to do, you already demand change. Because you're going to be everything you can. So that's all I have at this time. Thank God for the message and everybody that participated.